truly blessed to have such an extraordinary, right? Extraordinary First Lady. She's extraordinary, she really is. She cares about people. Hello, Miami. I am thrilled to be back in the state I love with so many proud, freedom-loving patriots. We're here to proclaim a new day is coming in Latin America. It's coming. In Venezuela and across the Western Hemisphere, socialism is dying, and liberty, prosperity, and democracy are being reborn.
We just, over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. And you'll be seeing that, and you'll be reading about that. It just happened moments ago, and our great general, head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's been so incredible.
The party told you.
What took place in Iran.
The party told you.
Potential nuclear
what did
power
it say?
For a long time to come. I think
it's always
within a
saying
month
something,
they would have had
guys.
it. We didn't do what we did. But he gave
The
us a little bit of
party,
a
the party.
briefing.
We're going to have a party.
And you'll see. And there's more where that came from. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country.
The
coming in
party
for a
told
long
you
time. And
to
we
reject
just,
the evidence
this came out of Venezuela.
of your
and
eyes
coming out very heavily
and
from
ears.
Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of
It
Venezuela.
was their final, most essential command.
We took it out, and you'll get to see that.
His heart sank
after this,
as he thought of the
after
enormous
this
power
meeting is
arrayed
over.
against him. The ease with which any party intellectual would overthrow him in debate. The subtle arguments which he would not be able to understand, much less answer.
President
And
Donald
yet,
Trump bringing
he
back
was
a
in the right.
familiar message from his campaign,
They were wrong.
talking about what he would have done.
But he
in
was
Iraq.
right.
Listen.
You brought up
What's up, guys?
Iraq
This
and
is Tommy
something you
with
said
Combination
that could
Politics.
affect American troops in recent days. You said we should have kept the oil, but okay, maybe we'll have another chance. What do you mean by that?
Well, we should have kept the oil when we got out. And you know, it's very interesting. Had we taken the oil, you wouldn't have ISIS. Because they fueled themselves with the oil. That's where they got the money.
So you believe we can go in and take the oil?
We should have taken the oil. You wouldn't have ISIS if we took the oil.
The question isn't whether he believes it. The question is why he believes he should break international law.
Happy
because
Sunday
that's what
Fun
taking
Day,
the oil
guys.
would amount
Sunday
to.
Fun
So
Day.
how
Here
are these
we
comments
are.
playing to an international stage?
And this is the television. We're in 1984, and this is the television. Greetings! Welcome to an Orwellian dystopian future. You've made it. Yes, guys, we've made it to the future. We are now in the conventional narrative projected within the United States frames. The military, as a sacrosanct institution, has dedicated to the defense of the homeland and the preservation of freedom and liberty. This story sutured deep in the American popular consciousness. It's invoked to rationalize colossal military budgets, big beautiful bills, overseas deployments, troop surges. It's invoked to enlist military men to sign up for their duty for their country.
You're looking at video shared by President Trump that his administration says shows the military striking a boat from Venezuela allegedly carrying drugs. The president says 11 were killed in the attack and that no Americans were injured. Well, tensions have been rising between these countries. The United States has been increasing its presence near Venezuela to combat drug cartels. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said the U.S. is pursuing a regime change in his country through military threats. CBS News Pentagon reporter Eleanor Watson joins us now. So, Eleanor, we just saw the video that just came in. How serious is this U.S. military strike against this drug vessel departing from Venezuela?
Well, Jericho, what we know is from what the president posted and from the Pentagon, who confirmed that there was a precision strike done against a drug cartel today. President Trump posted that dramatic video showing a strike destroying a Go Fast boat, which is essentially a large speedboat. According to the president, 11 members of a Venezuelan drug cartel on their way to potentially smuggle drugs towards the U.S. were killed in that strike. That marks an escalation in this administration's fight against drug cartels. Earlier this year, the administration designated several of them as foreign terrorist organizations and vowed to go after them harder. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke about that today while he was traveling. Let's listen.
The president's been very clear that he's going to use the full power of America, the full might of the United States to take on and eradicate these drug cartels, no matter where they're operating from and no matter how long they've been able to act with impunity. Those days are over.
Contrary to the patriotic assertions, the primary function of the United States military has not been to defend the United States homeland, nor to safeguard the individual freedoms. Instead, I hate to tell you this, guys, but instead of safeguarding freedoms and liberties, guarding the homeland, defending it, the military has become a transnational force that secures and expands the interests of wealthy elites, both corporate and political, while ensuring the uninterrupted maintenance of the United States' economic and geostrategic hegemony through interventions, regime change war interventions, guys, through bombings of motherfucking boats, through bombings of boats in international waters, through regime change, Homeland Security and CIA coups.
It's not a secret that the U.S. intelligence organization, the CIA, has overthrown many foreign governments. Here are 5 of the subtle and not so subtle ways it's done it. The first thing the CIA will usually try is funding the opposition. This is the safest and easiest method for the CIA. It can be as simple as giving money to opposition groups or as complicated as supporting a military coup. And it happened in South Vietnam in 1963. Similar instances happened in Brazil and Guatemala. Declassified documents show how the CIA supported the coup plotters, namely Vietnamese generals, to oust the country's leader, Ngo Dinh Diem. Number 2. Assassination. Killing leaders to install a US-approved party is another option. The CIA continuously tried to assassinate the democratically elected leader of the Congo, Patrice Lumumba. They succeeded in 1961. But public support for Lumumba was so high that they couldn't put his opponent in power. What followed was 4 years of political chaos. 3. Destroying the economy, or economic assassination. By using overt and covert means to destroy the target country's financial system, like embargoes, the US can force a political party to crumble. This strategy was used against Chile in the 1970s. After Salvador Allende's unyielding policy of nationalizing the country's major industries continued, much to the disapproval of the US government, President Richard Nixon told the CIA to, quote, make the economy scream. The agency also worked with 3 Chilean groups which planned a coup against Allende. The US constantly worked to undermine the Chilean economy until General Augusto Pinochet replaced Allende in a military coup in 1973. Number 4. Media takeover. The CIA will buy and use newspapers, TV, and radio stations to change public opinion and push anti-government rhetoric. This is what it did in Rome, Italy in the mid-20th century. The CIA bought and owned 40% of the Rome Daily American, initially to keep it from falling into communist control. But a former CIA official later said, quote, it's easier to buy a reporter, which we've done, than to buy a newspaper. And the agency has kept many American and foreign journalists on its payroll. Number 5. Creating chaos. Causing panic among the people and creating social tensions through street protests is another way the agency has overthrown governments. And making sure the protesters don't know the real motives are also key. The fact that Iran's democratically elected leader Mohammad Mossadegh nationalized an Iranian oil industry previously operated by British companies was not very welcome by the US and the UK. The two countries instigated a coup to overthrow him in 1953, mainly through the efforts of the CIA. To throw Mossadegh out, millions of dollars were channeled into Tehran to buy off his supporters and finance street protests. The result? Mossadegh ended up living the rest of his life under house arrest. This is what we do know about the secretive organization, but who knows what we don't know.
Let me tell you guys, there's been force, coercion, blatant fucking theft. The US military is an enforcer of elitist priorities. It is not a defender of freedom or liberty. It proactively shapes global affairs in ways to make self-determination obsolete and control, mass control, in an imperialistic way, all but assured. And so we say to the people talking about how Trump bombed drug dealers, he murdered 11 people in cold blood. Just like, let's not get that twisted. Donald Trump, our president, murdered in cold blood 11 people, and he did a war crime, guys. Let's go back to February 18th, 2019, if you guys don't believe me. We're going to take a little trip back to memory lane to February 18th, 2019. 2019, well, that was the first term, guys. Isn't that crazy? I've got some live goals, guys. If you want to just try to help me out with those, put some on the board there, you know? Say hi with a rose and all that. But there was a crisis in Venezuela in the first term. And Donald Trump, in his first term, said this. Let's take a trip back to memory lane real quick, guys.
And democracy are being reborn. Today our hearts are filled with hope because of the determination of millions of everyday Venezuelans, the patriotism of the Venezuelan National Assembly, and the incredible courage of interim President Juan Guaido.
Now, guys, in February 18th, 2019, I just want to let you guys know that our president tried to do a coup in Venezuela. He tried to arm rebels full of food trucks with arms and send them through into Venezuela to overthrow Nicolas Maduro and make this puppet of the United States a proxy. Just like, you know, Ashraf Ghani in Afghanistan. Just like, we've got lots of proxies. Volodymyr Zelensky, he's one of our proxies. We've got these little puppets that we overthrow the governments and we line up, we place in power these little puppets. Juan Guaido he tried to put in place. He tried to overthrow the government of Venezuela, our president, in his first term. I don't know if anybody realized this. And he tried to put Juan Guaido in as president. Unfortunately, nobody in Venezuela liked Juan Guaido, and he got fucking kicked out of the country. He was like fucking literally attacked everywhere he went. It sucked. It sucked for Juan Guaido.
The people of Venezuela are standing for freedom and democracy, and the United States of America is standing right by their side.
Right by their side, bro.
Let me begin by thanking the great leaders here today who have been such incredible champions for the cause of liberty.
Liberty.
And these people love you, and they love Venezuela, and they love Cuba, and they
all of the places that we're fighting, guys.
Newly elected and already doing an incredible job, Governor Ron DeSantis.
So guys, that was February 18th, 2019, when our president, Donald Trump, attempted to do a coup in Venezuela with the CIA and overthrow Nicolas Maduro and place in his place this guy Juan Guaido. So Juan Guaido would give up the oil reserves, guys. He'd give up the oil reserves. That was the reason. Donald Trump really loved the oil in Venezuela. Donald Trump couldn't get enough of the oil.
I will tell you, I just left Miami, and I've never seen love in the streets like that. I've never seen. We've seen a lot of love. I've never seen love like that, because they know what we all go through. They know what we've gone through, and they see it, and they're smart. And you know, many of those people coming from Cuba, Venezuela, other countries, they've seen this happening to their countries. I used to say that the United States, if it keeps going this way, it's going to be Venezuela on steroids. And now we're buying oil from Venezuela. Can you believe it? We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation, but we're buying tar from Venezuela, and we're refining it in Houston, the dirtiest, worst oil probably anywhere in the world, and we're refining it. So you can imagine what's going up in the air, and our beautiful stuff we're not taking out of.
Oh, you can imagine
and making
it.
a lot of
You
money,
can imagine
paying
it.
off debt, and reducing
Buying that
taxes
dirty
further, which
old
we were in the
Venezuelan
process of
oil.
doing.
God damn it, I hate it. Why do we have to frickin' be buying this ugly, dirty oil from Venezuela? Oh, God. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. Except for Trump actually didn't think that so much about the oil in Venezuela. Trump wanted us to take the oil in Venezuela. Trump told us many times that he wanted, above all else, guys, to take the oil in Venezuela. Take the oil. Why don't we just take the oil?
The president says to the briefer that he wants to have a war with Venezuela, and this is in 2017.
Yeah, the president's remarks to the room were along the lines of, I don't understand why we're not looking at Venezuela. Why are we not at war with Venezuela? They have all the oil and they're right on our back door. So I can't put myself in the president's mind. I can't say how, clearly crystallized, how clearly his intent had crystallized. But these were comments that caused us deep concern.
Oil. You kill them at the head. You take the oil. That's where they're getting their money. You take the oil. You take the oil. You take the oil. Oh, give me a break, Katie. Go ahead. Next question.
They were incredibly troubling.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics.
I don't know. Did y'all hear about that? Did y'all hear him say, take the oil? I don't know. Let's hear this guy.
I'm talking about oil.
Let's talk about oil.
This
guy's always talking about oil.
At the head, you take the oil. That's where they're getting their money.
Take it.
You take